A wild report has came out and suggested that the New York Yankees should pass on Juan Soto. I'm going to be breaking down this article and why this may not be such a bad idea as it sounds like. Plus, a lot of stuff in this article is pretty interesting to look forward at what the Yankees will do and what implications this has on their upcoming season. Now, before I get into all of this news, be sure to hit the sub button. We notice 70% of you guys watching right now are not subscribed. It's free, and you get all of your New York Yankees news right here as it comes out. But without any further ado, let's get into it, because this is pretty interesting. It's a pretty wild report suggesting that the Yankees should pass on Juan Soto. You know, hearing that the Yankees should not consider Juan Soto, or even if the price gets too high, pass up on him, still sounds very, very crazy to even consider at this point, knowing what he did and where he brought us last season. But as I mentioned, this is not always as bad as it may seem, and I am going to pull up our first graphic here, kind of going into it, and looking at this is what it has to say. And from Anthony Castrovins, I do apologize if that's not correct, but having Giancarlo Stanton at DH limits the Yankees' options with Judge, and if they're not going deep into luxury tax territory, then re-signing Soto reduces their flexibility and their ability to get more athletic elsewhere. So we know that this has been the case, but it's pretty interesting actually seeing it on written and reading it out loud. And we know after what we've seen in the World Series, in the playoffs, that the Yankees certainly could get better at many, many positions athletically. We know the hitting is great, the fielding is good, but the athleticism is something that I think the Yankees are really prioritizing, as well as, Juan Soto, of course, in this offseason. There's something they're prioritizing is just getting better physically and, in that realm of player that they're looking for. And this comes out from this article in here saying, MLBs.com Anthony Castrovins believes the Yankees might be more prudent to use Soto's money to sign multiple stars. For example, the analyst pitched the idea of adding Houston Astros versatile infielder Alex Bregman, Milwaukee Brewers shortstop Willie Adames, and Arizona Diamondbacks three-time Gold Glove winning Christian Walker instead of Soto. Now, I've mentioned a lot of these names here. Chris has mentioned a lot of these names, and the possibility and the likelihood of all of these being added to the Yankees is pretty low. But the fact that the Yankees have all these options, many of these guys interested in the Yankees system, interested in what the Yankees could bring to them, and the Yankees seem to be interested in all of those guys as well, they do have quite a big hand to kind of consider, knowing that adding in so many other positions and adding in so many other possibilities instead of Juan Soto could potentially even help the team instead of getting Soto. I know it still sounds crazy. We know how good Soto's been. We still want Soto on this team, but the fact that so many more additions can be made for what the total of Soto will cost is something the Yankees are likely going to consider. Now, whether they do or not proceed with this and kind of go further into it, it's yet to be determined, but it still sounds really nice to have a much better athletically inclined team than just solely power. And we know the Yankees love the power. The power is always going to be there. Judge, Stanton, Soto, those guys right now. But going forward, do they want to consider at least more athleticism, I think, is the big question. Going into the next screenshot as well, according to MLB trade rumors, projections you could sign Bregman, Adames, and Walker for long-term total of about $400 million versus the $600 million it might take to keep Soto. And you would want the team that is deeper and more defensively dependable, albeit without a Lou Gehrig to Judge's Ruth. And I think it's a big thing that the Yankees are going to consider, as you see here. They want to have that defensive reliability. They want to have every possible option and every possible thing to make this team as best as it can be in every possible direction, rather than just the whole system that they have, the whole power, known for power and whatnot in that kind of sense. And we know Soto's $600 million only seems to be going up, and that with the bidding war that teams are going to have on him, he's going to be one of the most expensive, if not the most or second most expensive player in the MLB. And I think that's something that a lot of people are starting to realize, and that the price is only going to go up as more teams kind of start to throw their names out there. We know the Blue Jays, the Red Sox, the Dodgers, so many more teams. But whether or not the Yankees, the Mets, whether or not the Yankees are number one, we really don't know at this point. It seems like it, and I'm really, really hoping that is the case, but we don't know for sure. And that's one thing I think the Yankees are also kind of considering, that they don't know if they're number one at this point just yet. And I really don't think I need to pull this up, but I pulled up Juan Soto's stats just to have him up there, kind of go over what we're talking. 26 years old, Juan Soto. We've seen in his career so far. He's already won a World Series. He's so good. He's one of the best players, if not the best in the MLB at what he does, and even in the field, hitting, fan likability, fan favorite. He's every single bit of it to the Yankees, and seeing that the article is saying that they should pass up on him is definitely going to seem wild to a lot of people, and it still seems wild to me, kind of even considering that we won't have Juan Soto next season and that the Yankees may consider to go elsewhere. But the possibility, as I've mentioned numerous times in the video, of having a deep roster team defensively, offensively, in the field, wherever, is very entertaining. Whether or not that does include Soto, it will depend on what we kind of think and how we feel about it and how the Yankees kind of proceed with this. And if the money level is not clear at the beginning of the winter, it is now. Because of his age, Soto's going to warrant perhaps the longest contract in MLB history, or baseball history, not just MLB. Fernando Tatis Jr.'s 14 years, $340 million deal holds the record, and an expected guarantee of excess of $600 million on this Soto contract is what Passan continue to add to this article and continue to kind of add in the discussion of what the Yankees may choose to do. And going into another quote here from that article from Anthony Castrovince, just spitballing here, but what if instead of Judge and center, Soto and right, you could have Judge and right, Jazz Chisholm Jr. in center, and Bregman at third, Willie Adames at second base, and Christian Walker at first. And adding all of these guys to the current lineup and the current plan that the Yankees seem to have, this looks really good and feels really good to be able to have this. Although knowing that the fact that you lose Juan Soto and lose, your second best player in this whole team, or you could somewhat even consider him the best. I don't want to go too far into that, but losing a talent like Juan Soto will definitely sting. And we know that the factor, the impact that kind of that one superstar has rather than just such a deep team. But when we do look at the Dodgers lineup from this season in the World Series, and I don't want to look at this, but we kind of have to, just because the impact that it had for their win and how much it helped them win the World Series against us and beat us, it does really kind of feel interesting to go out and try and get all these guys. Now, the big factor as well is that all of these guys are not guaranteed to be Yankees if Juan Soto does not sign or if we choose to walk away from Juan Soto. A lot of teams are going to be in on these people as well. These are all the top free agents. I think that's one thing to consider as well, is that looking at these guys, looking at the free agent list, you go from 1 to 10, everybody in that list is going to be there, plus Teoscar Hernandez, plus more names have been linked to the Yankees. So the Yankees are going to have to definitely stick with Juan Soto. I think there's zero chance that they walk away from this. They walk away from the Juan Soto deal. They walk away from anything, knowing that so many people are going to be in. A lot of these players may think that the Yankees just go out and buy, and even though that's what they do, and that's the best thing that they can do, and that's what's winning us games, people just may not like the idea of it. These players, I mean by people, and they may choose to go somewhere else. They might not like the market and whatnot, but, the Yankees need to be an interesting option for every single one of these players, and the fact that Juan Soto is even being considered to not be linked to the New York Yankees is something that I don't think we're going to see last too long. I think that Juan Soto's going to be back. I hopefully think he's going to be back, but who's saying that the Yankees stop adding apart from him? So, a crazy report, but it's definitely something interesting that I want to get your guys' opinion on. Let me know what you think about this. Do you think Juan Soto is going to be sticking in the Yankees rumors? Not the team, but the rumors, as this goes forward in the free agency and how this price climbs. But like I said, let me know what you think. That's all I got in this video. If you did enjoy, give it a like, hit the sub button as well. That's all I got. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a great day. See you later.